channel. I am Hawkinsimmer, and today we're doing a speed build, of course. I'm pretty sure this is going to be my second video back since I took a huge break because I was moving and life was happening, and this is so old. This was a challenge from Deli here on YouTube, Deligracy Sims. I don't watch her videos usually, like she's not on a strong rotation for me. I'll catch one here and there, but I don't watch a ton of it. But I did catch this video where she was doing this like 4 squares challenge, and basically you had 4 of these platforms to build stuff, and they should be like 4 houses that have a common theme. I think her theme was like pastels or something. My theme was, I don't know, a little bit more ridiculous maybe. I decided that each house would have a different budget just to see what you can get for this size of a little plot basically. So the first one I believe was 10K, and then everything doubled from there. So like n times 2. So the first one is 10K, the second one is 20, 40, and 80, and so on, as you see. Well, not so on because it ends at 80 words. So I just decided to basically make it like a little like community, I guess. Like I don't know what you would call this. They're not like a duplex community because they're not duplexes, but like a little, like a townhouse. I don't know. It is what it is, okay? I prettied it up at the end and gave it some pathways to make it look like this was, a thing. So I don't know. I tried to be as resourceful as I could. I don't do a lot of like budget builds because Motherload exists. If you're the kind of person who doesn't use Motherload, wow, I'm really proud of you. That's really exciting. Couldn't be me though. Couldn't be me. So yeah, anyway. So that's what this is. This first one is only 10K. It's 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, and then a pretty tight open living area with your like lowest appliances. I started by placing all of those things first, the things I know I needed, and then kind of went back through and tried to pretty it up. So I definitely used cheapest appliances and cheapest plumbing stuff, and I'm pretty sure that's the cheapest double bed. I wanted it to look a little nicer, so I ended up putting those like things behind it. They were only $30 a piece. I don't actually remember if that came up to less than like the next bed, but I thought it looked all right, I guess. It's pretty simple. I kind of had the same kind of mid-century modern vibes through all of them. Listen, you're gonna hear me say that a lot because I've decided that that's what I kind of want the vibes for my house to be. I'm trying to go for that mid-century modern thing, but it is really like on trend right now, so it's hard to get like actual vintage pieces for anything, first of all, for anything. And if you can find something absolutely outrageous, like Facebook Marketplace people have the audacity. I'm gonna just say that they have the audacity. So it hasn't been accomplished. I found a few little things, nothing that can really like pull it all together though. And we do plan on doing a few renovations here. So like the floor is really, really cheap, like vinyl. They are planks. They're not sheets. They are planks, but they're like supposed to be like multiple like real planks on one plank of this vinyl. It's just super cheap and like isn't very water resistant. We've already seen as we've moved in. So we definitely plan on replacing that. And then we're keeping the cabinets because they're original. And Nick was like, listen, we can buy all new cabinets and spend a fortune, but they're not going to be as like quality as these current cabinets. So we're probably going to end up painting them and reconfiguring a little bit, but not a ton in the kitchen. And then for the most part, those are the big things, is getting new floors and painting, and then painting cabinets. So, oh my God, and scraping popcorn ceilings. How can I forget? Not only do we have popcorn ceilings, they're painted over, which is a whole other issue. But anyway, we've moved on to this second build. So again, this one was 20K. This one is just a little bit nicer, but it's still 1 bedroom, 1 bath with a little bit upgraded appliances and plumbing, and then like a little bit more decor. So it's not like anything huge, but it's enough to make a little bit of a difference, I guess. And because there's such a small space, like, I tried to play with how I was laying things out. These first 2 are pretty identical, really. But the next 2 are a little bit different. So there's not a whole lot of space if you're doing this just one story. I don't know how you would fit 2 bedrooms in one of these, because the bedroom like currently is a little bit tight really. But this one had a computer, so that's kind of nice. The other one didn't have that. And then it's got like a little nicer of a couch and, like I said, the appliances. So yeah, I did like this challenge. It was just a fun little thing to do. Like, I don't even think I uploaded it. I can't remember, like, to the gallery, but I thought it was fun and just something to like get my juices going again. This, I think, was the first build I did back after we moved. It's kind of hard to remember now, but I'd done a couple before we moved and then just didn't get to post them. And I think I did this one, like, this was my first time picking the game up again after we had moved, and it had been a couple of weeks really. So this was just kind of to get my juices flowing and to get back into like the groove of playing again, because it had been a minute. So I edit clips of me speaking, doing the voiceover as I go along, so that if I have to edit out like a pretty large chunk, the voiceover isn't like totally off from the actual footage, if that makes sense. And I actually realized after I did the last voiceover for Monday's video that I am speaking so incredibly very much fast. So I, could have used that knowledge from before and slowed down at any time during that video, and I didn't. And then, I could have used that knowledge coming into this video and maybe, slow down a little bit for this one, but I also didn't. So now I am slowing down, trying to. I can't say that we won't take off to the races in a few moments when I forget, but I'm gonna do my best to not. But we are moving on to the third house, and as you can see, I decided to put the 10K and 20K houses in the front of the lot, because these 40 and 80K houses are going to be 2-story, and I thought it would make a little bit more sense if the 1-story houses were in front of these. So I tried to go with the same exterior theme essentially, so that it all seemed like these were built at the same time. And then, like I said, they have the same mid-century modern aesthetic inside, but they're not all exactly the same or the same color scheme inside. So this one is also just 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom. And actually, I don't even know if you can classify it as a bedroom, because it's really just a loft space. But the loft does have an office area. I guess technically you could have closed it off and made it a room, but I kind of like the idea of having the ladder and a loft. Now that I'm thinking about it, I do wish I had just done stairs instead of a ladder. I don't know why I made that choice. It would be terrible to have a ladder in your home, in my opinion, but that's what we got here, folks. So of course, on this one, the floor plan is a little different and much better, items in the actual build. When you're going from 20K to 40K, that is a huge difference. And I tried to use all of the money. I wasn't just going to set it at 40K and only use 30. You know what I mean? So I tried to be within $5 of the actual 40K. Same with the 80K, which honestly was kind of challenging, when you're doing such a large build, to get it to that spot, because you end up having to use cheaper items at the end. It's a lot of finagling around, but I think I made it work. So in this one, this was also right after they updated all of the swatches. Well, not all of the swatches, but quite a few of the swatches in the game. So these cabinets had a huge update. I think before there were only 3 swatches, and I very rarely use those cabinets, but because of the swatch update, I totally wanted to try it out. And I really liked how they worked in this space. I don't usually use wood tone cabinets. I usually go for the painted look, but I really liked how these worked with the black. So I am just cluttering up some of the stuff, putting in a few more windows because this sim can afford that lifestyle. I don't do a lot of houses that have lofts just because that's not something that I would personally enjoy. That sounds actually terrible, especially like if you're real close to this kitchen area. Like, can you imagine? You're like, you gotta have a really, really good ventilation system because otherwise, like, your stuff is gonna be smelling like your dinner. So I don't do a lot of lofts, and I like privacy. I don't, maybe I'm like a really private person. I'm on the internet right now. No one is private on the internet. But I just would not want to just have like open air living. That sounds terrible. But I did like the way that it looked. I kind of thought maybe this was like a single young woman maybe who just like moved to the area. Do you guys do this where you like make a sim up in your mind and a whole story? I do that. I don't know. Maybe it just is like supposed to help me get into the vibes, but I do that. I don't know if other people do that, but I was picturing a young woman just moved to the city for work, like maybe just graduated college or something. And I don't know. That was the vibe. I don't know what she does. I'm feeling like she's in tech, maybe something like real trendy. She's a real trendy kind of person. So I gave her a little office area over here. And I like that wardrobe situation. You know, I really thought after getting Dream Home Decorator that I'd be more into building closets. But truthfully, like, for whatever reason, they really don't work out in Sims floor plans. Like, it is hard for me to put a closet in. And maybe that's just because, you know, with Sims 2 and 3, and I don't remember a ton of Sims 1, honestly, but there really weren't like closets. I mean, there were closets. I'm not going to say there weren't closets, but like, I don't know, not in base game, not like you use it all the time. And with Sims 4, obviously there aren't closets in the base game. I want to say the first like closets were in whatever came first, I think, Get Together. And then there's kind of a closet. It's not a closet, but sort of. It's not a closet the way that the closets in Get Together work, but there's like a more closet-y type thing similar to that of the Dream Home Decorator pack in Get Famous. So having those, I don't know, I just really don't use them a whole lot. They take up a lot of space. But we have moved on to the 80K build. This one has 2 bedrooms, I believe, and this one, I don't know, I think it's cute. It took me a minute to kind of figure out how I wanted the floor plan to go. This one has a more closed off kitchen, and I kind of thought, since there's stairs in this one, you know, the other one was just a ladder, that there would be a like family pet. I'm thinking a dog in this one. So I ended up having like a little, you know, Harry Potter living area for the dog below the stairs. Actually, I did put in 2 bathrooms. I couldn't remember. Yeah, there isn't a bathroom downstairs. So like the guest bathroom is upstairs, but it's not attached to that bedroom. So it's, you know, it's fine. But then there is like a little office space in this living room. It's kind of a nook over here. I made a little kind of a galley kitchen. Not really. It's not, I don't think it's long enough to be a galley kitchen, but I do this like 3x3 kitchen a lot in smaller builds because I think you get the most bang for your buck. I think in real life it'd be treacherous because you'd be tripping over yourself if you like had to open the oven door. But in the Sims, you know, they Sims figure it out a lot of times. The routing in The Sims 4 is so much better than it was in 3 or heaven forbid 2 or 1. Like, holy crap. If you think that Sims routing in The Sims 4 is like annoying when your Sims can't get past something, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. We lived through the dark ages. If you weren't there, please don't complain. But I like this living area. Honestly, I liked how all of these turned out. I think that small houses are easier to like accomplish, not just in like time and, you know, resources. It's just like they come together a little bit faster. Like you can clutter a space up without making it cluttered, if that makes sense. Like fewer objects give you the desired look a little faster, I guess. In the end, I really liked this challenge. I thought it was kind of fun. I haven't really done something like this before, and like I said, it was really to get my juices flowing again, and I think that's kind of nice. And it's hard to like force yourself to do something out of your comfort zone or something kind of different than you usually do. So it's nice to have like a challenge, quote unquote, to like get motivated to do something a little bit different. Because like I said, I've really only done a couple of like budget builds on my channel, just because I'm a big fan of, you know, making things look as great as possible, and you can't always do that on a small budget. You know, I got a small budget in the real world. I don't need a small budget in The Sims. You know what I mean? I think that's, you know, people talk about how like, you know, they drowned all their Sims and made their Sims miserable, like growing up especially, and I never really played that way. Like, I'm not gonna say I never drowned a Sim, but that was not like the way that I usually played. Like, I was not there for the chaos. And maybe it was just because like I had a little bit of a tumultuous childhood, and I don't know, I guess I just didn't need that in The Sims. So not that, you know, not that people who played that way did, but like I was not looking for that. I was looking for something much more relaxed and like dream life, I guess. But we've moved on upstairs. I did the bathrooms off camera just because I knew I was taking too long on this. I mean, I know it's essentially five different builds, but this is already a 20-minute video for just a challenge video. I wasn't that invested in it, so I did them off camera, but they're pretty simple black and white bathrooms. I did all of the bathrooms off camera, I think, for the most part. And I didn't have to worry about like the budget for the bathroom, so it was kind of just like put whatever you want down. But we're doing the master bedroom. Love this room. Big windows. Went for that creamy white kind of, and then a little bit of black accents to it. I know that this is like a main color scheme for my bedrooms. It's really hard for me to like separate myself and my own design preferences from like the builds that I do. I know that I could branch out more, but I've just been, and the game lends itself so well to that style. So it's not just that like I like that style. We've recently had a lot of mid-century modern like design elements, build buy stuff added to the game with, the one that has the name Dream Home Decorator. First of all, stupid name, hate that name. But also tiny living, and I would say even a few of the items from like paranormal stuff lends itself well to that style as well. So yeah, the game just lends itself well to that kind of style. But anyway, we're moving on to this, what I thought was like a teen's bedroom maybe, or like a preteen. You know, in my builds, I feel like I do a lot of rooms that I'm picturing for preteens, and that's interesting because we don't have preteens in the game. You're either a literal like 8-year-old child or you're 17 going on 30. So like, sorry, I don't know, but it's kind of got this pink kind of vibes to it. I wanted it all to be like soft pink. I don't know if I really accomplished that, just because like there's a lot of variations of pinks in the game, but I tried. I also gave them an easel. I tried to put a couple of things, activities, skill building things in rooms. And then maybe I thought, okay, maybe it's a child, and I put a little kids art table. You know, it's been like 3 months since I've built this, so just like give me a break, all right? It's been a long time. Eventually, in one of these, I will talk about life and what all has been going on. I mean, I've given a quick overview. There's just like we moved and weddings and some like family and like friendship things that have been happening. So it's just been a lot. Life is just busy. And this is just a hobby for me. Like, I'm not trying to be on here getting like, millions of followers, because I'm 2 years deep and have like 40 followers. God bless every single one of you though, okay? But it's just something fun for me to do. And like I've learned a lot in The Sims and learned a lot like in video editing. I'm not great, obviously. I literally just put a photo in one of these for the first time in the last build that I did. And I had to look up a tutorial. So, I obviously am on my way to like totally working on like movie sets and stuff. I don't even know what those people are called. So, anyway, we are getting close to the screenshots, and just before those come up, I did decide off camera to also give each house a supplemental outdoor budget. So I believe the first house was 500, second house 1,000, and then 2,000 and 4,000. So they have a little patio area, and then I just added some landscaping and some terrain paint. So we're coming up to the very end. I'm just placing a couple more items, and then you'll see those final changes in the end. But thank you all so much for watching, and of course, thanks for being here. I upload new videos on Mondays and Thursdays, so see you in the next one. Bye! Y'all, I am winded.